Hello and welcome back to PGA 2K21. We're back here at the course designer. In the last video, we got a comment from Jake Gooder saying, "Love video. We'd like to learn more about placing natural nature and building the clubhouse area and whatnot." So today I'm going to go over some of the things I like to do to generate the background terrain and do general decorating around a hole, and then I'll move into the clubhouse. So we're going to start off with doing some natural nature stuff. So I'm gonna start off with a new course, and a lot of the stuff I like to use is the Autogen stuff for when it comes to backgrounds and all that other stuff. So we're gonna go into theme. We're gonna choose whatever theme we like. I'm gonna go with let's go with Swiss. Swiss is nice. Then I'm gonna go with terrain. This here is where you set up all the Autogen stuff. So water level, let's max that out. We don't want a lot of hills. We'll set you down to 30. Trees, we're gonna max them out for the background. Same with plants and rocks. We want as much of that natural stuff in there as possible. Fly. And as you can see, it's filled things out. Now we're going to the layout. I like to set all this to 0 because I'm building my own course. I don't need the auto-generated stuff. And there we go. And that's what our course is looking like. Do I want to name it? No, I don't need to name it. It's just going through. Now I usually like to have a reference to look at, but I'm going to go without that. Sometimes what you do is look at a hole that you like in real life and then just try to make it from that. But I'm going to go straight up natural and make it all by myself. So let's go with somewhere's near the water. All right, so we're going to go to measure. The average player can hit 270 yards, so that's going to be our point. So let's see here. Place with water that's around that long. Oh yeah, this would be perfect. So we're going to start off here. 270 yards is way down here. 270 yards. I'll ping that there, and then this is where the hole will be. The reason why I do this because it gives you the points that you need to decorate at. You need to decorate here because you're going to start off and see it. And when they hit the ball, they're going to land here. So you need to decorate around here. And then at this point, they're also going to need to decorate around the green. Because if you decorate the whole thing, then you're going to run out of space in the objects or memory. So let's go on and let's start it off by creating a hole. Start off here. Bing. Followed by the middle one, which is 270-ish. Followed by the pin. And remember to save your work. The past couple days, I have had problems where it's just been crashing randomly in here. We're also going to go into settings here in the course. We're going to get rid of the rough. We're going to place our own. We're going to get rid of the heavy rough too. Now fill this place with trees, don't you worry. We're going to go into edit. I'm gonna create a fairway, and I kind of want it to kind of follow the water. So we'll go like, let's see, let's start 90 yards out. Where are we? We're at 65. There's 90. We'll start at 90 and work our way out. And then we'll go fill spline, and we're going to sharpen and smooth it. Well, we're going to smooth it, and then toggle secondary surface of rough. And now we've got a smooth path, and it's also got the rough around it. And voila. Now we just need to clear out this area. Trees, you will do. We'll go up. We'll go up. I think I broke my controller. And there we go. Very nice. Very nice. And now we've got this cool little path here. Here I kind of want to clear off all the trees. Clear off that tree. I think that tree can stay. And I want this to be like a lot of like grass and stuff. Kind of like this right here. So let's go to this. We'll go into... No, we'll go into object, nature, grass. Go with this. And we'll try and fill this out as much as we can. And there we go. It's like a ton of grass going into the water. Very nice. Now this section in here. How are we going to decorate this area? Well, I know one thing we can do. I want rocks. I want to get a big rock. Really big rock. And we're just going to sink it a little bit. There we go. And then maybe one of these guys. Yes, that looks good. Very nice. And I think it's trees 3. No, it's not. It's plants 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. I'm going to have a tree that's kind of fallen over and broken. So where do we want to place this where it looks kind of nice? So we can place it there. Yeah, and then we'll grab some of these guys. Make sure they kind of match. There. We'll have like one turned here. Yeah, that looks pretty good like that. And then we're looking for bushes. Not that. There's a bush in here that's really awesome. Actually, we're going to save. I'm paranoid now. I don't want to publish it. Save. I'm terrified of losing it. Let's see here. Go back in. Nature trees. Where are the bushes? All the way over. Did I pass it? No, it's right there. This bush is so cool because it's on that lean. You can like use it to like make things look like they're growing up through a section. So I'm gonna go like this. We'll turn it around. And by going like this, now it kind of looks like this weed is growing between the rocks. And then we can have it kind of come up here. Go around this, maybe. And then down the other side. And maybe down there. And maybe we'll place it here too. Just like that. And then we need some more bushes just so it doesn't look like it's the only bush there. Nice. And now in the background, we're going to place some of these bushes as well. And there. We're going to go right maybe here. And there. What other bushes can we place in here? Those look quite nice. Maybe not as thick though. Yes, right around there would be nice. That's looking like a nice little starting area as it is. I don't want to make up here like a marsh kind of area. Like with a bunch of dead trees and stuff. And we'll have like this as like the center point. Maybe we'll have this one like right there. So that you see it once you go up to the green there. And in plants, I believe, also on page 3, we've got these ones. They're kind of cool. These little dead trees. And we'll kind of make them go up there. And like maybe some over there. And of course, since it's a marshland, there's a lot more algae around. So there's going to be a lot more plant life in through here. But as you go further out, there's going to be less plant life. It's going to be a little more spread out. like so. And there we've got a little marsh. So one thing I like to do is I like to have like a risk reward system when it comes to people making their shots. So the main player is just going to hit it straight, max amount they can do. And when they go there, well, they're going to land about here-ish. And then they're going to take their next shot, which will probably bring them to about there because they can't go through that tree. And then they'll go there. However, if you are good enough, from here you can kind of shape your shot. Or even from there you can shape your shot and go this way. So notice how there's two different attack angles. So when we create our green here, let's make it so it's kind of cool looking. Go up to here and then taper into here. And then fill spline. And we're gonna smooth it out. There we go. So there's two different angles you can come at through here. You can go straight through, or you can come at this angle. So the easy way would be to do it this way. So I'm gonna make this have like a challenge to it. Bunkers brush, because I love this brush so much. I'm gonna go like this. So if you attack it from that angle, it's easier to get there, but then you have to deal with this bunker afterwards. As opposed, if you take it the hard way, you don't have to deal with that bunker. It's kind of like a risk reward. And then we'll also have a bunker here. And we'll throw one over here because these bunkers are awesome. And with these bunkers, I actually love to do this. Landscape flatten, because it's the only one I really use. You'll make this one really small. And you sink it in just a smidge. Get a little bit smaller. There we go. And you just hold the button to continue placing it down. Very nice. Cool bunkers. Did I do this one over here? I did not. Well, down we go. Let's do this quick. And bingo, bango. Very nice. Now for the rest of this, we need to even this out a little bit. Again, I'm going to use this one. Go like this. Flatten it out just a smidge. There we go. It's looking better. Okay, maybe we need to change it up. So let's go with this one. More flat with a little bit of taper. And then we need to like get rid of over here. Like so. And now look, a little bit more flatter. We've got some movement on there, which is good. And then of course you've got to make all of your different pins. We'll put one here, put one over here, and let's throw one in the middle there. There we go, it's a nice little green. So we've got decorations up front. We can still do something with this side here. I'm not sure what yet, so we'll move on to the middle here. This here is where they're gonna end up landing again. And they're most likely gonna see this, which they'll see this big old tree right here. Very nice. What do I want them to see when they land here? I want there to be a bunker right here, actually. So there we go, risk reward comes up through there. Now you can go into even more depth with like changing the way the fairways are, but I like going with the way nature has it. Sculpt land, landscape. This guy here is the best for doing fairways and stuff. You can just raise it up and see how it kind of keeps the natural curve. Now you've got a little bit of a raise there. We'll even this out a little bit maybe. And come round and around. And maybe I want this here to be raised up too. There. Very nice. And you know, we'll raise over here up as well. There we go. Now we've got some nice curves going on. We'll raise up over here. And now we've got some nice curves going on. Very nice. There we go. So that kind of covers both of them actually. So we did the Autogen, and this here is personalizing the Autogen, which is the best way to do it in my opinion, is to use the Autogen to generate that and then go through and edit that Autogen to your liking, like this here. We've got this little setup here. And we need to clear this front here. So we're going to save. And then we are going to sculpt lamb. And we're going to lower that down a little bit. And we're just going to, like that. It's a little bit better. And you know what? I actually want to do something here. So up we go. There we go. Now we got this little thing we can look at. So we have to start off by hitting it up, which is good. And then once you're on the course here, you've got to deal with all this other stuff. So decorating over here. Let's see, what do I want to place? Walls, fences, buildings. Do we have any like cool buildings? Shelters. Not for Mystic. Pool in the middle of the woods. Okay. Very nice. No, I'm not thinking any of those. I'm thinking... Oh, I don't even know. Let's go with wildlife. Yeah, reptiles. Give me an alligator. All right. This guy's going to be real angry. He knows you're going to land there. He's waiting for you. Snake. Sure, why not? Insects. Oh, yeah, definitely. We need, like, flies and stuff. I don't think you can see them. There we go. There. Just place some of those around. Butterflies. Oh, wait. Butterflies. Yeah. Let's throw some butterflies down here at the start. If you really want, you can clear some stuff out of here, which I might do. Let's see. Clear generated trees. Let's clear these guys out. Just a little bit. There we go. And then behind here, let's have you, like a field of flowers. Because why not? Objects, nature, plants. Let's go with yellow. Where are the yellows? Be nice. Have this nice little field of yellow flowers. Throw in these. And because we can't have just all yellow flowers, we need to throw in some grass to darken it up a bit. That grass is not dark enough. That looks kind of nice. Let's go with that. And with this. Now, my rule of thumb is the farther you go away, the less you actually put in. So I can, like, out here, you'll notice in the shadows and stuff. So we'll put some little bit out here, just a little. And like way back here, we'll put like one in that tree section. That way, in case you do see it. See, now look, we've got this beautiful little thing here that goes off into a little swampy area. Very nice, very cool, like it. And those trees are kind of cool. We'll see them up close. So let's get some bushes in here. We'll save it. Go all the way over to bushes. That one's kind of neat. Maybe we'll throw this like in the field somewheres. Good place in the field to have this. Right there. Yep. And little bushes. No, not quite little enough. These ones are nice. So maybe we'll just have bushes around these trees here. And then also maybe have some little tiny trees there. And let's throw some other grass in here. What do we got? What are these? What does this look like? Not good. Oh, these would be good in the swamp, actually. Oh yeah, I like that quite a bit. All right, so grass. What do we got? So we got you. Dun, 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 dun. All right, small grass. Small grass is good. Let's fill this right up. Make this nice and thick in here. Thick. There we go. And a little bit in the background where the sun hits so that you can actually see it. And look at that. Does that not look like beautiful nature? Very cool. All right, so that there's going to conclude that. I've basically give you that's how you make natural nature using the Autogen and what we've given you to play with. So we will now save this because it looked kind of cool. I might use it at some point. Save and exit. And I'm going to go over to the course that I made. Welcome to Sandy Beach. This one here is going to be a guided tour of how I made my clubhouse. So the clubhouse is a little different. There's no Autogen for this. It's 100% you. And the way I like to do it is, we'll come over here. I usually like to do more than one clubhouse style. So if you actually go into here, building in the clubhouses, I usually choose one or two of them. And sometimes you can get lucky and you can like combine two different ones together. So we'll just go in this field and we'll test it out. So two kind of similar color styles would be, I guess, this guy. We'll place him. And if you want, maybe you can do something like have it like this and have it like a dorm room kind of thing. Or you can like mix match them. Sometimes they match up better than other times. But yeah, sometimes you can just put two of them together to make one cool one. Does that match up at all? Not really. Or sometimes you can use small ones like this too. I like to use this one here as like a tool shed and have it off to the side. As you can see up here, I have it like a little tool shed, and I've gotten all of the little carts that they use for maintaining the course. Very cool and very nice. I also use the back end of it for the storage of all the carts. And notice how I have the carts not perfectly lined up because nobody wants to park them perfectly every time. Little human errors, parking them wrong. Did some stupid guy decide to park it on the lawn? Yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3 clubhouses here. This one here is going to be the main building. We've got the little pathway that comes down around to where you can get your golf carts, or you can go over to the other building, which could be like a canteen or something like that. I like to think is this like the main area, and this here is like where you're staying for the night because this here is an island. You don't want to just come here for the day. Out back, we've got the tennis court. I didn't connect that up, but I could have. Oh well. I've got it connected up through those doors. And those come around down to the helicopter pad where you can land in here if there's an emergency, stuff like that. We got a hedge maze that I use the hedge walls for. And this is the cool thing here. So this here's an excellent example of using objects for things they're not meant to be. So this here is actually a lighthouse. I sunk the lighthouse into the ground, as you can see here. That's a lighthouse. I sunk it into the ground. Actually, you know what? Here. There. F10 and F11, it's great for this. I sunk it in the ground. I did a border of brick walls, and then I used the small waterfalls to make it into a fountain. And then I used the little splash things down there to make it look like it's splashing. And I made myself a little fountain out of it. These places are a little bit more formal when it comes to the scenery, so I actually have placed bushes, as in like they take care of them. And then most golf clubs have some form of practice areas. Usually they have a driving range, which I might throw in there at some point. But I didn't want to put in a driving range because it's kind of a small area. But I did put in a little putt practice place where they can practice chipping out of the bunkers, practice their putts and stuff like that. Of course, I put up the fence so people don't fall off. And then, of course, down here on the beach, I used bunker actually as the beach because I like the way the bunker looks. And then I set up a basic little yacht place where they can park. I guess this here is where food comes in on. It's kind of broken, kind of a crappy one, but, you know, food comes in there. They've got concessions for them to go in. And they can kind of walk up on their own. I used massive rocks. I just take one of the rocks and scale it up really big to make cliff faces like this, and then scatter little rocks around to make it look like it's falling apart. Bushes to seal edges that you don't like. So if an edge doesn't look right, you can use a bush to seal it up. Bunkers, again, I use the thing where I sunk them to make them look really cool. I like filling them with different weeds and stuff. It makes it look really nice. Stairs always. Connect things so people can walk, which brings me to this point. I actually have the paths from the clubhouse all the way up to this sign here that says hole 18, because that there will take you off to hole 18. Or if you continue on, you will make it to T1. And that one there has a sign that says this one here goes off to 18 again, and this one here goes to T2. So connect them all and make sure you use the signs to make them more realistic. And you can add in like stands and camera towers. And I like to add in the little golf carts. So every time you start on one of these, it looks like you've actually traveled there. Again, we got my cool bunkers. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the clubhouse design. It's essentially just make things look formal and nice. And try to think of it like, if you were to go there, what would you like to see? If I were like to go to an island, to go to a golf course, I would see the main area where everyone comes up. But then there'd also have to be a place for people to sleep because no one's going to fly to there for a day. And the activities to do when you're not doing that. Emergency, obviously. And parking of that stuff there. And then just general, like, I don't know, lawn care stuff. Cool things you like. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Other things you can decorate the course with definitely include these crowd stands. These signs here, actually, if I can find them. Create just add, place objects, signs, add boards. So these ones here, if I'm right, will change. Right now they say 2K21, but if you were to publish this course and someone out there said, this is a really cool course, I want to put it on one of my society events. If they did that, their society emblem would show up on this sign, if I'm right. So it adds a little bit of personality to the course for when other people play it in their societies. Other cool things I can show you, just some tips on cool things. I can show you how I built some of these holes. So I have over here, which one is it? This one. This is kind of one of my favorite ones. So you start off way up here, and then you hit into like this marsh area, and the lighting just comes right through, and it looks so nice. And then you hit up through here, and this one has a cool little thing. So if you can hit it, ideally, like the easy way is to hit here and then hit it over, and I believe it suggests you to hit it here. But if you time it right and you like perfect your swing, you can actually just make it over this bunker, and then you've got that much of an advantage over another player. And if you're really lucky, you can bounce it off this rock and get it like right up here within the first swing, but that takes a lot of skill. This one here I used a reference for. I just Google searched like beautiful golf courses, and there's just one that was a beach kind of one. And it looked absolutely stunning, so I decided I wanted to make something like it. And I ended up going with this at the end, which just looks absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite parts of it. And of course, I've gone through all the greens to make them look beautiful and work out. This was another one I used a reference for. These here are actually buildings. As you can see, the windows are still there. I sunk them and used them as these massive things. And all of these bushes are to cover up terrain that is very broken. Because with the terrain, you can't actually have it go straight down. It kind of always slopes. So to get it through there, can we see in through there? Yeah, so it's like the terrain was really broken when I shoved it all the way down. So I use these bushes to kind of fix it up. Camera towers, obviously. As you see there, that's the terrain being just broken as it is. But that's fine. I covered up with bushes. And again, it comes down to the nice little green here. So good. And hole number 9, I like to put as like the halfway point. People want to get snacks. People want to use the washroom. So once they reach hole 9, you can come back here and there's like a little cabin area where you can rest up, use the washroom, get some food. I don't know, refuel your cart if you need to. And I also have a bunch of crowd placed over there. And that is something I missed. Because this here is not natural water. I placed that water because it's above. And I missed a chunk of the water. Dang, I missed that whole chunk of the water. Well, that kind of sucks. Oh, well, it's published. I'm sure someone will notice and yell at me. Oh, well. Let's go back in here. Very nice. Easter eggs. Easter eggs are fun. I like them. I added this little one in here. It's a little plane crash with a little snowman in it. And I used the water thing to make it look like the oil's dripping and the smoke. Another little tip. If you have like on all the other holes, I have all the different T's. But on this hole, I only have one T. So you can do that and the game will properly adjust itself. So if there are no other blue T's, it'll place you on the only T that's on that hole, which is red. Because I wanted just one T off for this one. And you had to go up through there. Again, I made the little roads to connect it so that the player, they don't actually do this, but I like to think they do, is they walk up and they get their ball afterwards. Rivers. Rivers are tricky. I used heavy waterfalls to make the flow. This is all just heavy waterfalls. And I believe I have water placed underneath of it so that it gives it that effect. I just changed the angle of them to make it look like they're going. Again, we have a bridge so they can walk over there. I just laced it with rocks to make it look like it's been moving. And that goes out into the ocean. And actually, I'll show you. We'll go here. We'll try not to get those. So we got a waterfall going that way, waterfall going there, waterfall that way, waterfall, all these different waterfalls. And these are just massive rocks. With, again, bushes covering parts that I didn't like. And then we'll get into the tricky part. This is one of my favorite creations, but it took a long time. So when you come up here, you see this. This is not an object. This is probably about 60 small objects. This is bridges and posts. That's what it's made out of, bridges and posts. It took a long time to build this. But that's something you can do. I made it so you can get across to the 17th hole. Which this one was cool. I actually, when I was Googling different golf courses, I came across a drawing. Some guy had proposed a little course like this with this little island, and you had to shoot over the water and stuff like that. Or maybe his was connected this way, and I disconnected it. But I took that drawing and I tried to make something out of it, and I ended up coming up with this. I kept the island that was on there. I made it so this here was disconnected, and you had to shoot over it. But I've got the pathway so you can get there. So this one here is cool because there are actually 2 different ways to do it, as you can see. Most players will hit there and go the hard route, but the easy route is to just go straight over here and then over there. But if you do manage to make this small little gap here, it's easier to get up onto there, and you don't have to worry about all this bunker and all this hill. Very cool ways of doing things. And also keep it realistic. The original time I made this course, this here was playable. This was like a rough. And one of my friends actually mentioned, hey, you know, how are you going to go out there and get the ball? And then I tinkered with the idea of having a little boat here, but then that would just be tedious to go on a boat just to get your ball. No. So I just made it so you go around, and I scrapped that idea and put some trees on there. Then we move on to the 17th hole, which is just a little one here. Got a little lake. All these rocks around. Trying to build up the area, make it look like the humans or the players, the golfers, have put in these rocks to reinforce this area because it's kind of sinking a little. And that moves up into this little split here with like a huge kind of bunker in the middle, and you got two different spots you can go on to go to. And we got the rocks in the background just for a backdrop to break it up. Otherwise it looks kind of bland. You got the light coming through. Moving on to hole 18 is another really cool one of mine, using rocks and those cool little bushes I mentioned before. Going up them, I made this little island area, which you can go underneath. Very cool. And this is all rocks. Like, all this is made out of rocks, because you can't actually make holes in the terrain. So you kind of have to make your own terrain. And that goes on through there. This one here has got all these wavy lines, which are cool. And two sides. And then we get like a little step up that's made with hedges and stuff, which brings you on over to the other side here. We can see a boat off in the harbor. And this here's another really cool hole. And of course, a way to turn around. So when you come up here to get your ball, you can turn around, and that takes you back out to here. Hole number 1. One of my least favorite holes is this one here. I could not figure out a way to do it, so I just made it so you're just shooting over here. It is still a pretty fun hole because you can mess it up and go flying off into the sheep. Or you can mess it up and go into the water or hit there, so it's kind of cool, even though it's not my favorite. This one here is kind of generic, but easy to mess up on. Again, that one's beautiful, and I like that one. This one here, this one took me so long to figure out what I wanted to do with it. This was like the last one. So when you're making a course, you're going to get writer's block at some point. My suggestion is, when you're first going through, you're going to lay out the holes, all the holes, and you're going to start decorating them 1, 2, 3, 4, and eventually you're going to get hit by one where you're just like, I don't know what to do with this. Just move on. Skip that hole, go off to another hole, start designing it, and it will refresh your creativity, and then you can come back and make it. This hole, hole 11, was the last hole I decorated because it was the worst in terms of just me figuring out what I wanted to do. And even then, yeah, like you can see, I messed up the terrain so much trying to make this lake that you can still see like all the different marks in it. I couldn't get rid of them, but that's fine. I ended up making this really cool course with all these major waves. And this one's actually pretty hard to do because like you can hit here and it'll roll back down. You can hit it way over here and it's fine. But if you're really lucky, you can hit it and like nail it right there, and it gives you a major advantage. And then up here, of course, I've got the bunkers. Or not the bunkers, the retaining walls that lead up to this nice little green here, in which you get to see the other part of the course there. Stands and stuff, more rock faces. But yeah, anyway, I think that's going to conclude the video. I know that's real general, like there's a lot going on there. If you have any specific parts of this you would like me to go over, like splines, the best way to do them, or how to make cool bunkers, stuff like that, please leave a comment below. Remember to like and favorite the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. I plan on taking requests, and maybe at some point I'll even do a stream here on YouTube and just answer questions and build a course and stuff like that. Anyway, I will see you guys next time.